All right, here we go, my friends. We'll start with a warm-up run. I'm going to reset if I make a mistake on level 1, but other than that, we'll just run through the whole game once. I have a bad habit of leaving my timer going. Every time we do this, when I finish up, I forget to stop the timer, and so it just sits there maxed out at the bottom of the screen. I mean, I say a bad habit, but there's not really not like it causes any damage or anything to do it. It's just kind of silly that I have a maxed out timer at the bottom of my screen all the time. So, like I said, the all items run in Super C, or the 100% run is all items. I gotta grab everything and try not to die. Super C, who are you? What have you done with my edutainment? Oh, we finished. We played all the game. We visited all the islands and all the games. So I thought I'd round out the night by playing a real game for a little while. I do appreciate you coming along on the edutainment adventure. I was a little worried that people wouldn't be very interested in those games. So I'm really happy to see. I'm really happy to see how many people stopped in for them and stuck with us. Even though they got really repetitive and boring there after a while. We cleared stage 1, so this is a real warm-up run now. I'm no resets. Gotta just play the whole game. I felt like an awful lot of enemies there in that area. That was almost a miss there. It's very difficult to be a fan of the laser. Welcome to the world of Agent Frownie Mon. Where we watch Agent Frownie play games on Twitch. Uh-oh. That was close. Is that, Valor Pistol? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for the follow. That's, very kind of you. Contra 3, the Alien Wars on Super Nintendo? I haven't played that one yet. I'm really new to the Contra series, comparatively. I never played these games growing up. I played Contra on NES for the first time last year, and I fell in love with it right away. And I've been working my way very slowly through the series. As you can see, I'm only on game number 2, because I've been trying to do these different challenge runs through them. And I don't practice all that often since I do a variety stream. But eventually I will. Eventually I'll make my way through them all. Or most of them. I don't know that I'll play every game in the series on the stream, because some of them are kind of expensive and or difficult to stream. But we're going to do most of them. Slowly but surely. Yeah, the Rogue Core, I've got that one on my wish list on the Switch. I'm sort of keeping an eye out, waiting for it to go on sale. And then I'll probably pick up a copy of it. I hear not very good things about the later Contra games. Most people say only the early ones all seem to be very well respected, but the later ones, opinions seem to be mixed to negative. But we'll see. I might like them more than other people. I've got some pretty unpopular games that I'm a fan of. This part right here. That's one of the toughest parts of the run. Life is so much better with the spread gun. Halfway there. See, I was messing this level up quite a bit the other day. Let's see if I learned anything. Great. Anytime that gun on the top left doesn't wake up, that's great for me. Okay. That's good. Those are the items I kept missing the other day. Ruining all my runs. Where's the boulder? I knew there's supposed to be another one up there. I've been kind of messing this part up a bit lately too. I keep forgetting which levels are guns and which levels are just regular guys. That I was about to say, why is it taking so long? All right, fingers crossed for good RNG. No! Ah, rip the run. I missed a power-up and I died. Oh, it's dead. Infinite sadness. Ooh, I thought I was a goner right there too. I can stop the timer since the run is dead. This part's got to be slow like this because I've only figured out one. I've only figured out one method of gathering both the items that spawn here. The laser makes that very difficult. But clearing those out and moving in that pattern seems to be semi-reliable. Alright, now I'm actually going to throw some lives away here. I know this is a little tedious and annoying, but I want to practice that section again, and this is my only way to rewind the level, is to throw away my lives and use a continue. And since that part's really hard, I think it's better that we practice while we're in this area. The run was dead anyway, so this is the most efficient use of our time. And we're just going to do this twice. So while it's a little painful, should save us a lot of suffering in the long run. I've had 2 successful 100% runs so far. Except I died once in each of them. So I'm 1 death away from the deathless run. In my second one, run that almost made it, I actually made it all the way to stage 8. I died about halfway through stage 8. It was heartbreaking. I know I don't need to take out quite as many bubbles as I do. Like, I could do this a little bit faster if I left a few of them, but every one I leave just increases my uncertainty a little bit. I'm happy to waste a few extra seconds to keep things as safe as I can. It took me a very long time to work out how to get both of those. And, like I said, one more time. Alright, we'll just play for real from here. Finish out this stage in stage 8, and then we'll make a fresh attempt. We did pretty well up until this point, though. Stage 6 being the first one. The first and so far only stage to really mess me up. And, I mean, so much of stage 6 is just out of my control anyway. Can't feel too bad about it. Okay, next floor should be the one. Oh, it wasn't. Alright, well then the next one definitely will be. We're grabbing those 2 powers almost every time now, so that's really good. If you haven't been here, I did a low percent deathless run before the one I'm working on now. And this scorpion area here, getting through there with the pea shooter, was a nightmare every time. The spread gun makes that part just so much easier. I mean, of course it does. That's not, really a stunning observation, but there's a big difference between like understanding that the spread gun gives you an advantage and really like living it. I never appreciated the spread gun before being without it for so long. I never appreciated it the way I do now. Just gonna always practice this stage really slowly and cautiously, because when I do eventually have a run that makes it here, that's how we're gonna play it, is really slowly and cautiously. Guess I should say another run that makes it here, because we have made it here once. This is where I died on the on our PB, either down there or up here. It was because of this enemy that fires at you, and one of those green guys running in from the opposite side. I just got kind of unlucky with the timing and couldn't manage to take care of both of them at the same time. Whoa. That part there was ugly. It's spawning a lot of these green guys. My goodness. Thought I was going to miss that jump. That hallway was extra difficult for some reason. And that's it. All right, warm-up complete. Let's have a little bit of coffee, and then we'll hit reset, and we'll try again. I think we'll probably reset if we make a mistake before level 6. So that might mean we're leaning kind of heavily on the reset button. But we'll hopefully be wasting a little bit less time in the long run. I thought that letter R was going to get away from me. Thought that red guy was going to end me. There are ways that I could potentially make this challenge a little bit easier that I purposely don't do. Like if I did, like there are ways like when power-ups spawn near each other, I could juggle them so that I didn't have to use the laser, you know? Like cuz the spread gun and laser spawn really close to one another. So I could drop the spread, you know, or open the spread, then get open and collect the laser and then go back for the spread so I wouldn't have to use the laser, you know, through so much of this level, but I'm intentionally avoiding using sort of strategies like that that'll make my life easier. In general, I'm sort of just picking up the capsules in the order I open them in. I'm not being too strict about that, but I'm yeah, I'm not really trying to give myself any advantage. I'm not trying to intentionally give myself any advantage by manipulating the power-up orders. Though if I do spawn two power-ups close to one another and avoiding enemies like makes it easier to get them out of order, like if it's either, you know, like get them out of order or lose a life, then I'm gonna get them out of order. I just feel like it's a little bit more in the spirit of the challenge if I use items I would prefer not to in some places. And just try to, you know, basically try to stick fairly close to spawn order, but not necessarily be rigid about it. The elevators, the power-ups that spawn on the elevators, they're both kind of tricky. That's the easier set, too. The next one is... The next one's really tough. It shouldn't be that much more difficult, but... Like, I have a strategy for moving through here that should be reliable, but somehow I always manage to just mess things up a little bit. Well, not always, but often enough. Thought it was gonna get me. Hey, that went pretty well. Uh-oh. Oh no. Am I gonna miss it? Is it gonna despawn? Oh, thank goodness. Although now I'm in trouble. Big trouble. Oh, that's a shame. We made it so far. That one gun up the one that's up there on the top left right now, if that gun wakes up early, it puts me in a lot of pain. It's like 5:40 for me right now. We're only going to start up runs until about 6. You know, I'm going to go past 6 if we're on an active run, but once 6 passes, I think I'm going to stop resetting. We might finish out the run we're on, even if it's dead, just to get a little last-minute practice in, but the plan is to only start runs for the next 20 minutes or so. Let's see though, a lot can happen in 20 minutes. Uh-oh. like the music on... I like the music on this level a lot. Coming through this area with the pea shooter was actually, in a way, really good practice for the laser, because whenever I did the low percent of this level, for whatever reason, I got to where I was like trying to fire just one bullet per enemy, which is how the laser kind of works anyway. But I was making jokes about like a 100% accuracy run, or you know, no fire, no bullets that don't land. And because I practiced it like that so much, it doesn't really feel that much different to use the laser there. That was kind of ugly there. Gives us this machine gun here for this one like fight. I guess you could call this a mini boss fight. Gives us the machine gun for this one enemy, and then immediately makes us have the laser again. That was scary. Nice. That was scary, but it felt like it went by pretty quick. Oh no, I'm falling way out of pattern with this part. I had a means. There we go. Well, even that still not quite how I would normally do this part. I don't know what I'm doing. As long as I'm still alive. Whoa! I'm sitting here daydreaming. I'm thinking about. So I'm not being very talkative, but I'm. I'll let you into my mind. I'm so. While I was fumbling around there, I was sitting here daydreaming about making biscuits and sausage after the stream. Saying, well, it's going to be about 6 a.m. A good time to make some breakfast food. And Jelly would probably appreciate that. I'm sure the Contra guy would appreciate if I stopped daydreaming and paid attention to what I was doing so I didn't get him killed. I think I'm always most afraid of the very last laser. I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble. This boss fight's lasting a really long time. As I'm behaving foolishly. All right, well, let's see. We got really bad RNG here last time. Let's see if it goes any better this time. Okay, that went okay. Still lots of potentials for tragedy, though. We're never safe until we're safe. This game does a pretty good job of not spawning enemies from the side that you're standing real close to, when you're standing so close that an enemy spawn would basically be an instant kill. Like, it does a pretty good job of avoiding that. And believe me, I appreciate it. I'm playing really kind of poorly. A lot of these, a lot of my movements are a lot less precise than that I'd really like them to be. All that nervous jumping around on stage 4, and then here, like, not doing a very good job of aiming my shots properly. It is far from ideal. That part's the scariest part of that section. My goodness. I feel like this guy takes longer to kill with the spread gun than he does with a pea shooter. Stage 8. I'd like to say stage 8 feeling great, but it's, that would be a lie. Fire probably would have been a better choice, but I feel like I've had the machine gun here more often. So, you know, stick with what we kind of know. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget that the laser doesn't work like the other guns. That was close. No. That was also close. No, I missed a power up. Oh, no. Life is unspeakably bad right now. That was it. We were so close. Life is hard. Getting through here with the laser? I've never done that before, I don't think. Eden, welcome in. Hey, great to see you. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to your friends. I'm going to give you a proper shout out here in just a moment. We're right at the end of stage 8. I just had a colossal failure. I've been working on a challenge run of this game for a while now, trying to do 100% deathless. I didn't die, but I missed one of the items, which is just as bad. It ruins the run. So right now I have tears in my eyes. I'm very, very sad. But thank you for coming by. That does help to cheer me up a bit. Welcome in, Pathogen Live. You got Deathless on Super C though. That's crazy. Thank you. I do feel a little bit accomplished. So I'm new to the Contra series. I just played the first Contra on NES for the very first time last year, and actually it's been about a year. I played it in August of last year, but I've only played Contra 1 and Super C so far. I kind of decided that I would work my way real slowly through the series, and I would do these sort of challenge runs in each game. And so for Contra, I've done deathless 3 times. I did any percent, low percent, and 100%. And for Super C, I've done deathless twice. Any percent and low percent. I've actually done other deathless runs at both of the games, but I mean, so far as like specifically fulfilling the challenge by doing it once. So I've done any percent and low percent for Super C, and now just a 100% deathless run to complete the trilogy or whatever is what I'm after. But that's heartbreaking. I missed a power up. I've completed the 100% with 1 death twice now, and like that's like sort of the third like really good run. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. While I'm chin wagging, my friends, use the link there in that shout out. Give Eden a follow. Eden plays games a lot like I do, where she likes to do them blind and struggle through the hard way. She does a lot of retro. She does a balance of retro and modern games. She sort of goes back and forth between them. We usually catch her doing the retro stuff. But yeah, use that link there, my friends. Thank you for the follow, Pathogen. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Very happy to have you on board with us. I have no knowledge of this game, but I find deathless runs in any game impressive. Thank you. Thank you for the GG, Shino. It's 6 o'clock. You guys just showed up though, so we're gonna try again. I can't run away now when you all were so wonderfully kind to stop by. Shino gave Eden a follow. Very good choice, Shino. Very good move. How's Ocarina of Time going for you? Eden? How far have you made it along? Did you finish it, or trying again 7 hours? Oh, I didn't play only this tonight. I've only been doing this game for about an hour tonight, Pathogen. For the first 6 hours of the stream, we played a bunch of edutainment games. We played a couple Sesame Street games on the NES, and we played three games called Mario's Early Years on the SNES. Fun with numbers, fun with letters, and preschool fun. It was a edutainment theme night, and then I threw this on for the last hour just to do it. I don't when I'm working on a challenge run like this, I don't do it every night, so I just do it a little bit here and there until I finally get it. So a lot of times these challenges they take several weeks for me to accomplish. I could probably do them a lot faster if I did like a serious grind where I played them every day for several hours, but I feel guilty. I feel guilty if I put my viewers through that. I'd rather we keep more variety on the stream, even if it means it takes me longer for a challenge. I'd rather we do more variety so that I feel less guilt. Nowhere close to done, but making progress. Found the Eye of Truth today, and have been upset it doesn't help me more in the Shadow Temple. Shadow Temple is rough. The Shadow Temple is a rough place. I did a 3 heart. I tried doing a 3 heart run of Ocarina of Time. And I did. I finished it with only 3 hearts, but I was using healing items, which is probably not in the spirit of a 3 heart run. And also I died several times, but I didn't die until the Shadow Temple. I made it all the way to the Shadow Temple before I had my first death. I mean, not counting, using fairies and healing items, which I would have died without those, but technically my first death was in the Shadow Temple because it's so difficult. It's so rough. And then it just was all downhill after that. I died 100 more times before the end of the game. In a way that's good for me though. That you're nowhere near being done. That's good for me because that increases the likelihood that I'm going to be able to drop in on another one of your streams when you're playing it. I have the best bits to look forward to. I somehow managed to get a mustache hair in my mouth. And now it's stuck to my lip. And it's tickling me. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was a nightmare. Couldn't take my hand off my controller. I'm too stubborn to throw away a life for something as inconsequential as a mustache hair. If you just come in, my friends, let me tell you a little bit about the stream, I suppose. So I'm Frownie, of course. I stream several nights a week from around 10:30 p.m. Central Time, and we usually go for about 5 or 6 hours, sometimes a little longer, like tonight. I like to play games. I like to do first playthroughs of games, really blind. So kind of the way Eden plays them. I'm really stubborn, and I myself am not particularly clever, so so sometimes things go really wrong and I get lost and confused for a very long time, but that's all part of the fun, right? At other times I like to do challenge runs of some pretty brutally tough games like this and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I haven't completed a lot of those challenges, but I have ambitions of doing a lot. And yeah, we NES to N64 is my real sweet spot when it comes to games, but we do go older with the Commodore and the Atari sometimes, and we do go newer with the Switch and the PlayStation 2 sometimes. And I'm a big fan of collecting. I'm kind of in a unusually fortunate situation of I have a pretty substantial physical collection of retro games, and so I stick to original hardware most of the time. We do play ports and digital copies of games from time to time, but as often as humanly possible, I try to stick to the original hardware and physical releases. For better or worse, there are definitely some drawbacks to doing things that way. Imagine Frownie doing signings. I shudder to think of the I shudder to think of the nightmare universe where my signature is worth anything. That'd be the worst of all possible timelines. Sorry I have to leave. Taking the kids shopping for new school clothes today. Right on. And no worries, Eden. Thank you again for the raid. I appreciate you, like I said, coming by and bringing your friends by. A friend of Eden's is a friend of mine. I hope that you, I hope you have a wonderful shopping trip with the kids. So while I do have a no back seating tag on, one exception that we do make for that is if you see me if you see me skip a power up in the challenge, if I skip a power up and I don't seem to notice it, feel free to call me out on it because I would prefer to know I'd made a mistake rather than do a whole run and only find out when I rewatch the VOD that it was invalidated a few minutes in. It's stunningly easy. It's stunningly easy to start, you know, to get lost in daydreams and make mistakes like that. I wish it wasn't. You know, I had a really good pattern for fighting this boss standing right here close to it before, and I just cannot seem to pull that off any longer. So I run a timer during the challenge, but really that's just to keep me focused. I'm by no means a speedrunner. You know, we're going to be lucky if we finish it at double the world record time. I'm perfectly happy to take, you know, 2 hours on a single level if it keeps me alive and helps me avoid making mistakes. I'll go painfully slow if I have to. But the timer is a good way of like keeping my attention locked into the game, so we run that. But even if I had ambitions of you know, achieving a good time, one of the features of the way that I like to do challenges is I try very hard to avoid seeing anyone else's gameplay or learning anything about the strategies to a game that I'm working on, because I like to I really want to kind of work everything out for myself and do it all with casual strats. So I know I have this I can feel in my heart that I know that the way I'm doing things is frequently very inefficient and sloppy, but I don't know, at the end of the day I feel a little bit happier with what I've achieved when I've worked everything out on my own. I have done the opposite. I did at one time I did speedrun, the Castlevania: The Adventure on Game Boy, and I did that. When I did that, I had the world record holder for that game, Mazin, was coaching me, basically walking me through step by step the entire game. So I have had the opposite experience, and there is something kind of fun about that too. Like one of the greatest, like the greatest thing about, speedrunning is so many of the games have really supportive communities, and it's really awesome how the sort of the top tier players of these various games are very cooperative and encouraging to other people who play the games. And I really like that feature of speedrunning, but at the same time, it's the thing that's makes me incompatible with it, since I'm so stubborn and foolishly independent. Okay, that was good. Uh-oh. This might be bad. Alright, it's fine. We got everything. I think we got everything. I might need to roll the footage back there to be sure. I was playing greedy. I am amazed I didn't pay for it. I was surrounded by all those enemies there, and I was thinking, well, if I can just focus on the boss and take him out, all the other enemies will despawn. And really, I didn't deserve to survive that. I should have been way more cautious. That whole section is there may be a way to consistently go through there, but for me, it's just all RNG. Oh, it's horrible. Come on, don't let any of these guys get me. Run, run, run. Stage 7. This is the ugliest part of the run, not in terms of its difficulty necessarily, though it is a little difficult, but in terms of the way I execute things. There's right here in this area, there are 2 power-ups that spawn simultaneously, and the only way I've figured out to collect them both successfully is to grind everything to a halt and clear out a lot of space here. The difficulty is that I have to get them both with that laser weapon. It took me a very long time to figure that out. To figure out how to do that. Since I play on original hardware, all of my attempts are real time. Welcome in as that trained infant. Sorry, I can't see the chat really well. You're watching with sound off. What's going on with clearing out the green? Yeah, that's what I was just explaining, but I don't mind saying it again. Welcome to the stream, by the way. So yeah, in that area with the green, there are 2 power-ups that spawn simultaneously. And the only way I've figured out that I can reliably collect both of them is to clear out a lot of that green area, so that I have room to maneuver. Because the laser is so slow, if I don't clear out enough of that green area, they get away from me. At least one of the power-ups will get away from me. So it brings everything to a screeching halt, but so far it's the best thing I've worked out. I'm a stubborn fool who refuses to learn other people's strategies for playing games like this. So that leaves me stuck with what my own substandard mind can work out. It makes for a run that's really sloppy at times, but at least it's mine, right? If it works, it works, exactly. I'm a fan of the of striving for the barely functional. Here we are, last stage. Am I gonna trip at the finish line again? I might. Don't don't get too excited, my friends. Someday I may learn a speedrun of some of these games just for fun. And like, I mean, learn it, you know, through like the sort of the research and studying other people's runs, sort of, you know, strategy properly, the way you should do it. Because I was saying I was saying before that like with the original Contra, I'm kind of at the point where that's the only thing really left to do with the game, since I've already done a lot of different sort of styles of challenge run through it. I really like, if I want to go further with it, I've pretty much taken the game as far as I can by myself. But we'll see. It's kind of disheartening to run games that are so popular and so well optimized. You know, not that I really have any serious ambitions for attaining a world record, but with a lot of games like this, it's so optimized that even getting close to it feels impossible. You know, and on the one hand, while, you know, really you should be doing it just to beat your own personal best and, you know, stuff like that. You know, be your own competition and that kind of thing. And you should, and there's nothing wrong with that. On the other hand, it's kind of disheartening to have your name on a leaderboard and see that you're in place number, like, 4,000. Victory! We did it! We've done it! Alright, that's Super C complete. I believe it is. I mean, there's always, I have to watch the VOD back to make sure I didn't make a mistake and not notice it, so we did it. Asterisk. put a footnote next to that. I've still got to rewatch the footage and double check. But I think that's it. I think that completes the trilogy. 3 deathless runs, Super C. Oh, we're done. Hopperpot, welcome to the stream. You come in at a great time. We just, well, in one way you came in at a great time. I hope you've been lurking for a while because, we just finished a tremendous victory. Oh, we could celebrate now. My heart could finally rest. Thank you for those trophies, Sparrow. I'm going to hit the button just to, well, no. I was going to say just to have some music going, but if I do that, the game's just going to, I'm just going to die repeatedly in the background on level 1. We probably don't want to do that. Only Contra I put any time to was Super Probotector. When I was a kid, one of the few games I actually finished. Thank you for the GGs, by the way. Trained Infant and Shino, thank you very much. Oh, that feels good. I've been working on this for a while, so that's it. We've done Deathless, any percent, Deathless, low percent, Deathless, 100%. That's the 3 runs. We've done them. So sometime later this week, we'll play Super C one more time. The sort of like victory lap that we're going to do is I'm going to play through and I'm going to do as many loops of the game as I can on 1 credit and see how many times we can get through it. When we did that with Contra, I made it through 8 loops. I made it to the final boss on loop 9, so I was so close to 9 loops on 1 credit, but 8's okay. 8's pretty good. So we're going to do the same thing with Super C as sort of our victory lap and kind of send off for it. Sometime later this week, Thursday or Friday. And then we're going to start playing other Contra games. Next up, I want to play Operation C on the Game Boy and maybe Contra 3 Game Boy. I'm not sure if I should play the Game Boy Contra 3 or the SNES Contra 3 first. I kind of feel like I should just do the two Game Boy ones. I'm probably not going to do challenge runs of those two, at least not right away. But we want to do those, and we also want to do the Switch. I have the arcade versions of Contra and Super Contra in the collection on the Switch, so we'll play the arcade versions of these as well. And then after we've done those four, we'll move on and do Contra 3 on the SNES and Hardcore on the Genesis. This is all going to be across a couple weeks, but just a general roadmap. I think we will do challenge runs of the SNES and Genesis game. I've heard so many good things about them. I expect to really like them both. And that's sort of the criteria for whether or not we do a challenge run. Is how much I like a game. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream tonight, my friends. I think we're gonna take off. It's been a really good time. We had a lot of fun. We played a lot of garbage. We played a lot of garbage tonight. The first half of the stream, or the first giant portion of the beginning of the stream, but it was kind of fun, and I'm really excited that so many of you were into it as well. So many people sort of hung around for those edutainment games. Like I said, I was kind of worried no one would be interested in those, so it's very nice that people seem to like them. I want to say I'm proud of you, Frownie, but I'd have to leave an asterisk. I'm proud of you anyway. Thank you, Sparrow. Thank you very much. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for being here, Shino. I appreciate your company. And everyone who's come along, who's been lurking, and everyone who's been chatting with me, thank you very much. It's been great having you here tonight. We should stream again tomorrow night around 10:30 p.m., maybe a little later. Tuesdays I usually run a little late. So keep an eye on the Discord. I'll send you the usual alerts. The plan for tomorrow night, we're going to start up a new Scooby-Doo game for our Jank Marathon. It's going to be another Scooby-Doo game for the first part of the stream, and then we're going to play Vector Man in the second part. We may also do something else, depending on how Vector Man goes. I haven't been able to beat it yet, so there's definitely no guarantee that I'm going to now. And then on Wednesday night, we're going to play, continue Scooby-Doo, and then also play Pikmin 2. We've been working our way through that one. So yeah, that's what's coming up, my friends. I'm gonna push this in the direction of Man Burning. Man Burning's a really nice guy. His stream is not family friendly. Just a heads up about that. It's not family friendly, and it's a bit more high energy than my streams. He's a bit more animated, so just so you know what we're getting in for. But he's a really great guy. He's really supportive of other streamers, and he does some really cool stuff. He's playing Mario Kart, Mario Kart 8 tonight, and the new tracks just came out, and I haven't seen them. I don't know that he's playing them, but I expect he probably is. So it might be a good opportunity to be able to see those new tracks. So one last time, my friends, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. So many of you have made tonight a really good night for me, and I hope that I'm going to get to enjoy your company again very soon. But it's time for us to head off now. Let's go on an adventure.